Mr. 300c, y'all. We in the garage. Clean garage, getting ready for our trip to go to Bear Lake. Check out the 300. Clean as a whistle. Forgot to share that I got new rotors. Yeah, I changed these rotors out over a week ago. I didn't document it though. I called my mobile mechanic guy and he changed them out. You can still see it has a little bit of that first layer, a little ring. That's gonna come off soon. Probably in the next 100 miles or so while they're breaking in. But yeah, it was good to get off some old 18-year-old rotors. Some joints was just old and rusty. But yeah, they look better. Stopping power is great. But let's talk about this driving experience, man. About this Scat Pack. Let's talk about that. Make sure I like this. Everything good. Drives nice. Got my nephew in the back. Not worried about imperfections. It's all about the engine. Cosmetic stuff can be replaced or fixed. Mr. Aiden, player. Man, this car is nice. All right, folks, I'm chilling in the car right now. So, yesterday, I went to go and test drive a 2021 Dodge Charger Widebody Scat Pack, baby. And I had my nephew with me, and I didn't record a lot, only because it was mad hot outside. So I had my nephew with me, just to ride with me, get out the house a little bit. Went up to the dealership to go test drive the Scat Pack. And the main thing I wanted to get out of this experience was to compare it to my 18-year-old 300c SRT8. So the first thing that I enjoyed was just the bigger space. Scat Pack's a lot bigger than the 300 and felt more roomy, which was good. And I really enjoyed the Alcantara seats. Now I have leather seats, as you can tell, and they're cool, but I'd rather have something softer, and especially in the summertime where I can have a nice cooler seat. These seats get really hot when the sun's in it, and you know, it's not my favorite, it's all right. So I like the Alcantara a lot. I also liked the updated technology, right? Now it's a 2021. That tech has been out since 2015 in those newer models, but to compare to my 2006 300, it's like a night and day difference. The touchscreen was working, the backup camera was nice, all the options on the dash and speedometer, like all those things digital, and I don't have a lot of digital things on the 300, so I like that a lot. Obviously all the sports pages and the settings you can change on the suspension, track mode, sport mode, auto, those are all great to see. But yeah, I enjoyed driving the car a lot. Now, one thing I will notice is that my SRT8 definitely pulls harder than the Scat Pack, and that's probably because of the 5 gears that it has and the gear ratio. And I noticed like when the Scat Pack pulled, it was a smoother, like gradual type of feeling, whereas my car is a little bit more violent, and it kind of like, you know, makes you do some of that. And even when you downshift, the Scat Pack was just smooth. Those 8-speed gears were just really nice, and I enjoyed making it downshift with the paddle shifters. Whereas on the 300, you know, I got the slosh box, if you want to call it, slush box, people like to call it. And, you know, I have to get it really purring around like the 3rd gear or so, and then it starts to drop into the lower gears and really hear the engine purr. And again, it's a little jerky, no diddy, and had to throw that in there. And it's not as smooth as the Scat Pack, so I really enjoyed downshifting the Scat Pack and not having to be like doing this all the time. Cool to still hear the car be loud, but be smooth. It had 315s on the rears, which is interesting because normally those cars come with 305s, and the fronts had 305s. So I wasn't spinning at all, which is nice. So I feel like if I do get a Scat Pack Widebody, I'm gonna upgrade it from 305s to 315s. They were brand new tires, very nice, and it made the driving experience a lot better. And so not to bore everybody with all the pros and plus and minuses, but obviously the Scat Pack is a more superior car than the 300 SRT8. Now I know this car is rare, it has vintage nostalgia, it has all these different unique things about it. The engine's great for modding, but I'm not modding this car. I've added about 40 horsepower to it and I'm happy with that. And so I just want to go to the next level and enjoy the 392 engine a little bit more. And then when the time comes when I'm done with that, go to the next level, which would be Hellcat. And so I didn't get a chance to go test drive the Hellcat. I didn't have time. I had to get back home. But I know what I was going to expect in the Hellcat because I've driven enough to have an idea, even though I haven't driven a Charger wide body Hellcat. But the main concern is just that, spinning all the time, and yes, you can throttle the pedal and do all those daily things, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to skip over the 392 and go straight to Hellcat because I feel like I'm just crippling myself. I want to enjoy the process and kind of going through all the Mopar engines in an orderly fashion, right? Like I've had, let me see if I can remember this. I had a 1999 Plymouth Neon, that was a 4-banger. Ended up getting a Dodge Charger 3.6 liter, then a Chrysler 300 with a 5.7 liter Hemi. Now I got the 6.1 liter Hemi and the SRT8. And so the next evolution for me would be the 6.4 liter Hemi. Enjoy that for a few years. Then after that, we gonna bump it up to the Hellcat, and then we can see what our options are from there. So that'll be fun. But yeah, that experience taught me a lot, and it seems like a no-brainer, easy decision, but I'm a very picky, indecisive dude. And sometimes I just like to figure things out myself and like really get my hands on stuff. So it was a good experience, I definitely kind of want to go do it again. Now the question is like, am I gonna get it, right? The unique thing about this car is that this car has been in an accident. It's a rebuilt title, and I saw the pictures of the car when it was damaged, and they did a great job putting it back together. Mechanically, I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I was listening, I was revving hard, pulling hard. I couldn't find anything wrong with like steering wheel. I was moving, everything felt solid and planted. And so the out the door pricing was, I think it was about $38,000 and had 21,000 miles on it. Interior was great, there was no issues with it there, and I was just shocked in how they were able to repair this vehicle and put it back to like great shape. It's not perfect, of course, right? There's like minor imperfections. My car has tons of imperfections. It's hard to see it on video unless I'm zooming in on it, but for my standards, it's a great car for $38,000 out the door, being a wide body Scat Pack. And the engine hasn't been modified. Nothing's been modified on the car. It just has, the 315 wheels on the back, 305s in the front. And outside of that, the car is pretty much stock. Now, it's black, obviously. My favorite color is Frostbite and all the blue colors out there. So that's the one thing I'm kind of down about. It's like, man, like, I wish it was blue. I would have already purchased the car if it was blue. But I don't know if I want to have another black car again. And don't get me wrong, black cars look mad sexy when they clean, like they look dope. They shine, look like clear crystal diamonds, It's just the maintenance of cleaning it. I'm kind of have to be more uptight and wash it more often. But if it came down to it, if I had to do it black again, sure, why not? So I know this car is probably going to stay available for maybe the next week or two. It's been out for 2 weeks so far, and I'm sure it's gaining some traction. It's really a good price for being a rebuilt title. So yeah, that's my experience basically with the Scat Pack, and I think it's definitely the next step for me. I'm glad I was able to do this little experiment and test things out a little bit. I'm happy with it. So what's next? I don't know what's next, man. I'm still thinking about it, if I want to pull the trigger or not, or if I just want to keep waiting and go for the color that I really want. The year's still young. We're only halfway through the year, and a lot of stuff's going to be happening in the next few months, especially with Dodge bringing out these ugly as EV joints, Daytona EVs, and trying to clear out inventory space for these cars. So I'm still targeting Q4, which is the last 3 months of the year, to really make a decision on like pulling the trigger. I do feel like prices might come down a little bit, but you know, if something good comes up like this potential buy, then I might have to entertain it. Just depends on everything. So tomorrow I'll be on my trip to Bear Lake. Be gone for about a week. So if the car's still there by next week, maybe we'll go look at it again. Maybe I'll do some more test driving, some more videos, actual videos of me inside the car driving, so you can see my reaction and so forth. But yeah, I know it's a little bit more faster than what I have. I have like 460 horsepower or so added to this car. And, you know, Scat Pack's at 485 from the crank. Performance-wise, it's a little bit better. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough to make me feel that I've craved the itch, right? And that's the whole purpose of this whole journey. So thanks for rocking with your boy. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos, being patient with me, and just rocking with me during this journey. So let me know if you got any questions. Mr. 300c is out. Peace.